Hi, my name is Christy. Today we're going to be focusing on a practice that highlights the heart. And for today's practice, you'll need a block. I have an egg block here, but you can use a square block, that's fine. We'll use it towards the end of the practice. And then I like to have a blanket, or today I have this a pillow. And you can use also a blanket instead of a block if that's what you have available. You'll also need a chair. We'll do some practices seated in the chair, and then we'll do a few standing, and then we'll come down to the floor. So you can set up your practice space, and then we'll begin. All right, so we're just going to find a comfortable position and just begin to find a comfortable position and begin to focus on our breath. And bring to mind your heart. You might visualize your heart and have an awareness of the heart. Maybe we feel it beating. We know it beats to pump blood out to the body and nourish our cells. And we understand that we want to take care of our heart. And there's different ways we can take care of our heart. Physically, we exercise, we eat healthy, and then also mentally, emotionally, we want to manage our stress and be aware of our emotions and our thoughts and our feelings and the impact of our emotions and feelings on our heart. As we grow that awareness, maybe we'll even feel the impact of anger and frustration and the negative effects it has on the heart and consequently our health. And then the impact of the opposite, love and joy, and maybe we can even feel those positive, more peaceful sensations. So as we come into our practice today, we're going to focus on a mudra, and this is called the Purna Hridaya mudra, and we've seen this a lot lately. If you watch football, you know the Buffalo Bills, Ham 3. We're going to cross our fingers, and as you cross them, you want the right hand finger, index finger, closest to your heart. We're going to bring the thumbs together, and we're going to create this heart shape with our hands. So as we sit back in the chair and just create this heart shape, you're welcome to close your eyes, turn the awareness into the breath, feel the sensations of the breath as we breathe in through the nostrils. Perhaps feeling the temperature of the breath in and the temperature of the breath out. And just hold that awareness with our breath, continuing to breathe. You don't have to change the breath, but you might feel yourself as we continue in a few minutes, maybe now, that the breath is beginning to slow down. And it's okay if it's not. Just observe without judgment, without expectation. Also become aware of the body. Notice your positioning in the chair. If you're not already, lift and lengthen the spine as we sit erect. Soften the shoulders down. And if at any point you get tired of holding this mudra, you can just relax your hands into your lap. We'll hold it for a few more breaths. Setting intention to practice with compassion and perhaps a little joy today. And let's release the hands down. And let's begin with a little movement coordinated with our breath. On the inhale, let's sweep the hands up. On the exhale, sweep the hands down. So our arms, our hands are an extension of our heart energy, our heart chakra, the energy center at our heart, a center of love, relationships. And with our arms, as we move them this way, perhaps we can feel ourselves expanding out that heart energy Our arms, our hands are what we use to bring people into our lives and also to push people away. So just notice and be aware of that sensation. Inhale as we sweep the arms up. Exhale, sweeping down. And remember to choose that range of motion that feels good for your body. If it doesn't feel good to bring the hands all the way up, then you can just come halfway up, whatever feels good. Let's do a couple more. And then let's take one hand and just place it on the side of the chair. The other hand will sweep up and we'll bring a little bit of sensation and opening to the side body. Inhaling up, exhale down, and we'll do the same thing with the opposite side as we put the hand on the seat of the chair for support. Inhaling up, exhaling down, and then let's alternate sides. Inhaling, exhaling. If it feels good, you can have your eyes follow that moving hand. If that doesn't feel good, you can just keep your eyes forward. They could even be closed. Notice how this feels on the side body. Maybe we're allowing ourselves to go a little bit deeper to each side. Remember, safety first. Make sure you don't fall out of your chair. Yeah, I've done that. And let's do one more. All right, I'm going to scoot forward in my chair so my feet are a little more grounded on the chair. I might have a little bit of room to move. In fact, let me move my chair so you can see sideways a little bit here. We're going to do a seated cat-cow. So we're going to take our feet just a little bit apart, creating some space for our body to move. I'm going to put my hands on my legs to start, and I'm going to focus my energy in my core. On the exhale, pull my belly into my spine, round my back, drop my head, tuck my chin in, and then inhale, heart center forward and lifted. Exhale, rounding. So that seated cat-cow, you come to the edge of the chair, it's just a little bit more mobile. You can feel your sits bones rocking forward and back. Moving with my breath. And I can keep my hands on my thighs or knees, or I can begin to add my arms. So as I inhale, lifting, open, let the arms float back, and then exhale, bringing them forward. And this just adds a little bit more sensation to the movement and gives you another option. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, and exhaling down. Let's do a couple more. And then come to that neutral position. Beautiful. Now we're going to add a little bit of a twist to our practice. I'm going to move back again on my chair, and then I'm just going to allow my arms to relax, and I'm going to bring the left arm to the right knee and twist just gently to the right, and then I'm going to bring my right arm to my left knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale. For more sensation, I can turn my head, turning my chin towards that shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Twisting. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Just a nice gentle movement. Still warming up. And then one more. All right, and then coming back to center. I'm going to re-straighten my chair. And we're just going to take a moment here to pay attention to the wrists and the fingers. So let's roll the wrists, spread through the fingers, just kind of move them whatever feels good, and then go the other direction. And then we're going to do the same thing with the feet. So since we're sitting in a chair and we're focusing on our balance, let's just do one at a time, and we can hold our leg as the foot comes up, and then circling the ankle, spreading through the toes. Go both directions. It feels really good. And then releasing that down, and the other leg. Going both directions, spreading the toes. Beautiful. And then releasing down. And then we're going to stand up for a portion of our practice. I'm just going to move the chair out of the way. And then coming sideways on your mat or straddling your mat. And we're going to turn the toes out just a little bit. We're going to find our sunflower position and our moonflower position. So let's bend the knees, and we'll start just with some gentle bending of the knees, working through the legs. Our practice is going to be pretty gentle today, so you can always choose to go a little bit more stronger in your practice, or you can also dial it back to go just a little bit more softly. And let's add the arms as we inhale up, reaching out, 5-pointed star. Exhale, bringing the elbows in, bending the knees, and just flowing. Nice focus on the hip and the legs. We're moving in conjunction with our breath. Doing our little Surya Kriya. And then let's begin to, if we're ready, drop a little bit deeper and circle the arms as we come in. Sorry, that was our Chandra Kriya. Now we're doing our Surya Kriya. That was our moonflower. Now this is our sunflower. How could I mix those up? Oh my goodness. A couple more. On the next inhale, we'll bring our hands up, and then as we bend the knees, just floating the arms halfway down and coming into our sun god posture. So allow the shoulders to soften here. We're going to lift the heart. Again, focus on that heart. Imagine drawing the energy of the sun into the heart, energizing our heart, filling it with warm love and compassion. And then let's relax the arms down. And let's straighten out the legs. We're going to take our left leg and turn the heel out. So we're going to find those warrior feet. We're going to turn the right toes forward towards the top of your mat. And we're going to stay with straight legs, sweeping the arms back out. And we're just going to tip over in triangle pose. And our hand can be resting on our thigh. It can come down to the shin. Maybe it comes down to the ankle or the floor, but it doesn't have to. Focusing just on the openness of this posture. Our gaze can be straight ahead down to the floor or looking upwards. Pressing firmly into the feet. Feel the energies of Trikonasana. And then we're going to float back up and pivot on the feet, turning now the right toes kind of at angle out. Left toes turn towards the top of the mat, keeping the legs straight, and let's find our triangle on the opposite side. This pose builds nice strength and endurance. Also cultivates that sensation of openness and balance. Awareness of the breath as we hold these postures just for a few breaths. And then let's come back up. From here, let's bend at the left knee and come into our warrior two, taking our gaze over the left fingers. Again, feel that sensation of reaching energy out from the heart center. Relaxing the shoulders down. Pressing into the feet, really feeling our strength. And then let's take the arms, reaching up. bringing the hands together, straightening that left leg, and we're going to turn and pivot. Pivot then the right toes to the mat, and exhale as we come down to Warrior Two on the opposite side. And holding for a few breaths. And then we're going to flow from side to side. So just be mindful about pivoting your feet, being careful with your knees. Inhaling up, straightening the legs, pivoting on the feet. Exhale, pivoting, turning. And then one breath, inhaling up and exhaling. Feel that lightness, that ability to change direction. Feel that control that you have. Nice, calming, mindful movement. Let's do one more to each side. And as we come back to the center, let's swan dive into forward fold, a straddle forward fold. And if you like, you can keep your head at hip level, bringing the fingertips to the floor. You can also bring your block to elevate if you don't want to drop your head a bit lower. Or you can allow that head to sink down, heart center to sink down. Standing straddle splits. And then from here, lift up just a little bit with the head and the heart. And then we're going to walk our feet, heel toe our feet back towards one another as we come into forward fold. Bend the knees, lift the heart, and then slowly, as we press our feet into the earth, reversing our swan dive, standing back up nice and tall. And let's exhale our hands to heart center. Beautiful. On the inhale, let's circle sweep our arms back up again. And then we're going to sink down into a chair posture. Now you can keep your hands reaching up along the sides of the head, or if that feels like it's too intense today, we can bring the arms down. We might even want to be a little bit more compassionate and gentle with ourselves as we bring our arms in to heart center. So finding what is most nurturing for you in this moment. Feeling ourselves in our chair posture, pulling the shoulder blades together, strengthening the legs as we hold in chair for a few breaths. And then standing back up again. I'm going to bring my chair back into the screen just at the top of my mat. So if you'd like to do the same, you can. Just make sure all 4 feet are on your mat so that it's not going to slip. Once again, safety is important. We're going to do a down dog on the chair, a particular move that I like. So you can get a distance from the chair, hands on the seat of the chair, and then you can adjust your distance as you reach your hands back towards the back of the seat. And we're keeping our back nice and long. We're hinging at the hip, reaching our tailbone back, and then keeping the head just in line with the arms, in line with the spine. Feel that nice opening through the shoulders and the hamstrings. And then begin to press up just a little bit. Beautiful. So we're going to move that chair back just a little bit and do a little bit of balance. So you can have that chair nearby to hold onto if you like to have just a little more stability, help with the balance posture. We're just going to come into a tree posture today. So let's unweight the left foot, and then as we put the foot either on the ankle with the toe on the ground, the calf, or maybe you're more comfortable with the foot on the upper thigh. And find that place that works for you today, and you can bring your hands at heart center, or if you like, we can reach the arms out, spreading our branches, finding that balance in tree. We could even come back into our Puna Hridaya mudra, our mudra of the open heart. And then release. And then let's shift on to the opposite side, so unweighting the right leg. Woo! Finding that balance. Choosing that positioning for your perfect tree today. And again, choose if you'd like to come back into Purna Hridaya Mudra. We've seen this mudra a lot lately and I like it. Reminds people of their hearts. Leading with our hearts each day. And then releasing. All right, so we're going to come down to the floor. So any way that it's comfortable to come down to the floor. And let's come into butterfly posture, bringing the soles of the feet together, sitting nice and tall. So we can flap our wings in our butterfly position, and then slowly begin to contract the outer thighs and draw those knees closer to the floor. The heels can be any distance from the hip that's comfortable for you. We're sitting nice and tall, and then imagine the belly button coming towards the heels as we keep the low back long and move into a little bit of forward flexion here. Allow the head to drop. I'm feeling that sensation on the back side of the body and also along the inner thighs. And sitting up nice and tall. Let's take the legs out nice and straight. Just pause here for a moment in our staff posture. And then let's bring the legs apart and come back into a straddle. And coming into a seated straddle, forward fold. We did this standing, but it feels a little different when we're seated. So seeing how that feels coming forward. Anchoring down through our sits bones. You can even use your block here for support, or you might have a couple of blocks. You can bring your head down and rest. And as we hold these postures, we're breathing. And in this posture, imagine breathing into the low back. See if we can create space with the breath. Breathing into any tissues where you're feeling sensation especially. Let's do a few more breaths. And then let's bring our head back up. And we're going to come down to a seated position. So take your feet towards your chair, but not on your chair. I'm going to push my chair away just a little bit. We're going to use the chair at the very end for our practice. So keeping the knees bent, and let's roll down to our backs and have your block accessible as well. So we're going to come up into a supported bridge posture. So again, you can use the egg block here, or you can use a square block. And you can find the height, if you're using a rectangle or a square block, you can find which height works for you. So we're going to press into the feet. The feet are lined up, heels are lined up with the hips, and they're a comfortable distance away from the hips for you. Lifting the hips, slide the block in. Want your tailbone to come down on the block. You don't want the block in the low back. And now we have a gentle inversion that sends blood up towards the heart and the brain. Really nice, beneficial, and it's just a gentle inversion. So we're going to hold this. Allow the hands just to come out to the side with the palms up. And breathing. into the front of the body. I like to imagine when I'm in bridge that I'm breathing into the front of the body, into the hips, and then all the way up to the kneecaps. See if you can feel that sensation. And notice how this feels. And remember that at any time, if something's not feeling right for you as we come into a posture, please give yourself permission to change it so that it fits your body better. So maybe you're choosing to go to a higher position or a lower position. Maybe you're choosing to take the block out completely. So honoring our bodies, being compassionate with our bodies. Let's take a few more breaths in our supported bridge. And then we're going to take that block out and just place it off to the side. We're going to maybe bring it back in a few minutes, depending on the choices that you make. Taking our hands out to the side with the palms up. Take the feet apart, so wider than the hips, and begin to rock the hips side to side, and let the knees begin, or the legs and the knees come with the hips. So as we move into windshield wiper, just a gentle hip mobility, also some spinal rotation happening. We can add to the rotation if we want to by taking the arms in the opposite direction, and the eyes follow the arms. So you're swishing side to side, and it feels pretty good. I like this move. Gentle way to release any energy that we're still holding. And then come back to center. Draw the knees into the chest as we take the hands on the backs of the thighs and just relaxing here, maybe rocking gently side to side. And either choosing to stay here or perhaps moving into happy baby, stacking the heels over the hips, reaching up and holding on to either the feet on the outside or peace fingers wrapped around the big toes, and press the big toes into the fingers, and then draw the tailbone and the shoulders back down to the floor. Feeling that sensation in the inner thighs and the groin. And then releasing the feet. So we're going to use our chair now. So if you can bring your chair in just a little bit so that it's right up next to your bottom. You're going to place your feet on the chair. For legs up the chair, very relaxed position. And again, another example of an inversion. If it's more comfortable, you can take your block, your blanket, or your pillow to place underneath the sacrum. So that might be more comfortable for you. Maybe just a pillow, some softening might be more comfortable for you. Maybe supporting under the low back. So finding whatever it is that you would like to make yourself more comfortable. And then we're just going to find ourselves in final relaxation with our legs up on the chair. You can let the knees fall out if that's comfortable. And then just taking our awareness to the breath, taking our awareness into the heart center. And letting go of all effort, even the breath effort. Just letting go. Softening the jaw. Softening the face, the eyes, the eyebrows, the forehead. Softening the throat, the shoulders, the chest. Softening the back, the arms. Softening the belly and the hips. Softening the thighs and the calves. Softening the feet. And now take awareness back into the heart center. And imagine your heart itself is breathing. Feel the gentle rhythm and flow as the heart breathes. Connecting with the energy of our heart center, love and compassion, by bringing to mind something or someone that you have a great sense of appreciation and gratitude for. Maybe it's a grandchild, a child, a pet, a spouse or a significant other, a parent. Whatever elicits that feeling of compassion, of love. Makes your heart smile. Allow that feeling to grow and spread. Feel that heart energy. It moves through the body, nourishing and healing the body. And notice how the whole body responds with a smile, loving that heart energy, the compassion, the gratitude. And allow yourself to stay here for as long as you like. Thank you for practicing with me today. Please stay as long as you like in that space of gratitude.